Okay, today we will see how we can work with custom scripting and as well as business rule shape, how we can use it. So what we are going to do is for today's scenario. So I have already downloaded some transaction history file. So where basically has all the where it has like all the transaction histories for and I wanted to do some kind of a dividend calculation. So in this dividend calculation I will be taking two criteria. Wherever the transaction history remarks will be is ACH and some credit amount should be there and deposit amount should be there, then only I need to take the consideration. So that amount I need to calculate all the things sum. So I need to generate one Excel sheet or some kind of CSV file. So the first thing is what we need to do is we need to read the CSV file, and then we not a CSV file, it's an Excel sheet. After that we need to convert this Excel sheet into CSV file. So this is where exactly we are going to use custom scripting. So after that custom scripting is there, we are going to use there is a few more options for manipulating the files. So first let me just if you want to work with an Excel sheets, right? So there is a one article. You just follow that article and you download all the things so that you will be able to achieve all the libraries and everything you will be able to set up. So let me just see. Once you install libraries, let me go ahead and see. You can just go to this one community. You just working with Excel. You just set something like that. Go to folders, user lib, script. Yes, I have uploaded those jar files. So you can go to this. There is an article. Yeah, this one, working with Excel. So you will be getting the step-by-step instructions on how you can able to set up the jars. You can have the links. You download some jar file, zip file, and you already know about this custom library, how to do all these things. We already done as part of other previous classes. You attach all these classes, then you will be able to deploy this jar file. So then you will be able to get the support for working with converting Excel. So boom, how this leverage this Excel functionality is CSV to an Excel and Excel to CSV. That's kind of a thing is happened. So what we are going to do here is we are going to first reading an Excel file. Reading an Excel file is nothing different. You just read as in any file. After that, pass this input Excel file as an input for the data process, where the data process will be using this custom scripting. The custom scripting, first let's go and do, let me check. Let's go and create the process, new component. So don't share this video so that it has some account details of the thing. So let's click on connector, disconnector. So parameters, you go to any other things, no issues. So this also take any other things, no issues. So go to downloads folder. Full file path to clipboard. This is the actual folder path. Go to directory here, configure this. So what we'll do, we'll configure the extensions here. Okay, we'll see these things later maybe. So I'll go and specify this file filter. So file filter, I'm passing exact value so that I'm able to read now Excel sheet now. Let's see. And what I'm doing is just I'm reading an Excel sheet, nothing I'm doing extra things. So click on save, read, So in this case, I'm just reading an Excel sheet. After that, I'll be incorporating the next things would be a data process, where this will be converted, this Excel sheet, into a flat file. So then flat file I'll be taking apply all, because yes, this is this is since an Excel sheet, we cannot directly readable. So at least we are reading some file. Okay, now let's go and change this. Use the data process for converting. Go for custom scripting option here. Where is this custom scripting option here? You always go for latest version. So what this custom scripting is always, right, these are the predefined things always comes. Whatever the document that comes, right, the document will be stored in this object. So they have two predefined methods is given, get data count. This will give you the number of documents that is currently passing. If you don't, in this case, right, you are in this case, right, you are reading a file. It means only one document is coming. So that only get data count will result only one number. So its value will be give once. So for that, if any properties, this is a input stream, is a get input stream is a method that is going to retrieve actual content of your document, and it stores in. And one more thing, get properties is the one, whatever the properties that you tagged, maybe document properties, anything you tagged it to particular document, all those things will be retrieved using the get properties. So you can see always get data context is an object where it can have more than one item. So that's why always indexed with properties, get properties at this particular 0 position. So in this context, in this object get stream, always you pass an index so that you will get the value at that particular stream only. Based on the index, you're going to get it. If the document, only one document is there and data count, get data count written only once, the loop will not iterate, only execute one times. And after processing all your data, if you want to store it back, means if you remove these things, right, what happens? So whatever the input document that comes for the data process, you're not making it out, so that the process will not continue further after data process. So make sure you should have this object, man. You should store it, the input stream. After you do all modifications on the input stream using the custom scripting, you can store it back, so that the output will be written by the data process, and then you can work with the data process, you can work with the documents using the other shapes in the Boomi. So you can use a Groovy script or JavaScript. I always prefer with the Groovy. Groovy is it's very similar to the JavaScript or Java code. Okay, now what I will going to do is I am going to, let me just go and see, is there anything I already have? Okay, I don't have. So maybe you can create one thing where you can mention just something like use the latest one always. You can just say Excel 2 so you don't need to do nothing much. Whatever it is there, you just copy this one. So here, right, so read Excel, right, you can just see here, you can just copy this. I'm going to explain you what exactly this thing is also doing. Quickly I'll explain you these things. This is not copy. Make this as a Java. So what exactly we are doing is, this is the one, first we are, as I explained earlier, so first we are getting the input stream. This input stream, what we are doing, in order to work with an Excel sheet, right, there is an object called data formatter. We need to first create the formatter, and workbook factory is the one. Using that, you pass your input stream. Once you pass input stream, this will going to create an object called it's create a workbook in the sense it's kind of a sheet. Okay, workbook is kind of a sheet will be created. In this workbook you can have any number of sheets. Okay, so this is going to based by passing your input document, it's going to create the workbook. from this workbook, it's going to identify how many sheets are there. So these sheets are stored in a list. Maybe you might have understand basic Java, right? So at least core Java, you should be able to understand that. So from this document, right? From this document, if you have only one Excel sheet, only one flat file document will be generated. If you have two sheets, you have two documents will be generated from the data process output. So that's what they are doing to list. It means it's going to generate identifying the number of sheets available in this after creating a workbook from your input document. In the input document, in the sense, this is an Excel sheet. After you process this Excel sheet, it's going to identify the number of sheets available, and for each sheet what it is going to do, this is each sheet they are trying to identify number of sheets are available using the sheet size will give you 1 2 3 like that, or depends on the number of sheets present. In this case only will give you only one sheet, because I'm going to remove this sheet and I'm not going to do any modifications, so that if I not saved anything, so whatever it's there old one it comes. So for each sheet, right, get sheet at this particular injection means if a number of sheets will be there right in this one, so it's trying to identify looping for every sheet, and then again it's identifying the each sheet, nothing but each sheet is kind of a tabular one, row and columns. First identifying the rows one. For every row, again it's a row, it has more number of rows, right? So it again processing loop every row. Again one row he has a number of columns, again it do the looping. So and then it's going to identify the get cell type is basically gives the what kind of a cell type. Is the number, this is a text or date, any other things. Based on that, it's identifying this, each and identifying this. Based on the type, it's going to generate one. It's going to generate if switch keys based on kind of number of if else case statements. Whatever the case satisfies, it's go to. So it means for every cell, it's going to identify if it is a text. By default, whatever you are using, it's a text fields, so it will come and get the value corresponding. If it is a string one, it gets the string. Because different methods are there in Java, depends on the type. If you want to retrieve the string value, you have one method. If you want to retrieve some boolean value, you have different value. That's why they are using these case statements to identify what type. Based on that, they can call the correct function, correct method to retrieve the value. And all these values, right, all these values they are storing in one string builder or string buffer. This is basically when you're working with the strings, right, the string builder or string buffer will be much faster compared to strings. So you have many functions for working with strings to easily you can do append, reverse, you can identify substring, you can do a lot of things with string buffer. Most of the times you'll use a string buffer whenever you want to do some manipulations on the character data. So then after every, you can see this is end, means after every cell, every cell, every cell means every column, they're appending comma. Okay, they're appending comma. And after every row, they're appending the new line character. It means they're generating for every columns. This is how the flat file will be there, right? Every column will be separated with either pipe symbol or anything. In this case, they mentioned as a comma, and every row is separated with new line character. So that's how it's, after that it's just extracting the complete converting string buffer into converting into string. They are storing that string back, and based on the string they are generating the again input stream, because always data context is always works gives input and takes in output in terms of input stream. That's why they are with this one they are converting the a string to an input stream again using the byte array input stream. Then they are storing it again. They are generating one more document property called, this is the way you set the document properties dot set property. Dynamic document property means they are creating one property called sheet. Whatever the sheet name we given it here, sheet name, the value also retrieving it here. So now let's go and copy this value and see the output, how it happens is, go to this, go to data, you copy everything, just save it, save and close. So we are assuming that we already have the all libraries, everything is set up. So that's why if you don't have, first you need to set up all the libraries as I've explained in the document. You need to download the jar files. This is a dynamic document property. So you can see the value how it is coming, the dynamic document property. Dynamic document property. This is a sheet also. You can able to verify what value it is setting. You can just clear run it back. So after this thing, right, what happens? Your Excel file is converted back to your CSV. Then if you want anything, we need to work with flat file. We need to, with this data, we need to generate the flat file data. Okay, you can see what is the sheet name here, OP transaction history. The sheet is came, and this is actually your input data is converted back into CSV file. But here is my data is not in expected format. So I want to generate something like detailed statement, search, all these things are coming. Something like detailed statement, search, something, all these things are coming. These all are not required from me, required only from serial number 1 to serial 44. All these are the things only I require. Remaining things I don't require at all. So it means I need to remove all these things. Tiler on and header part I need to remove. Again, for that, what we are going to do is we are going to use one custom scripting here. So the custom script, what it will do is it's going to remove this part. Okay, it's going to remove from this serial number 44 to down, and it's going to remove upper part from serial number 1 to all these things. This is the things is going to remove it. So let's see, I do have all this already written in this code. So let's go to that. Truncate header and footer from CSV file. So what I am doing it here is very similar to the same one. Nothing is different. First I'm going to get the data. So from the input stream, right? First I'm identifying the serial number in the input stream. I'm passing input stream here. In the input stream, I'm identifying the serial number. Where is the serial number? Based on the serial number, I'm go and identify the row number here, because this is particular input data is coming, right? I'll identify the row number here. What is the row number? And similarly, I'm going to identify based on the value that something I'll give the legend or something. I'll identify the end row number. Okay, this will give me the start one, and this will give me the, you can see start I'm storing it here. Similarly, end also I'm storing it. Legend are used in this account statement. Okay, this is how it lay there, right? Legend are used this is the one. Based on that, I'm identifying start and end. And after that, after identifying the start and end position, I will just going to cut that one. So for that data context, you can get file content. All these are different methods. See how reusable the code is. Get row number. Okay, get row number is basically taking the input. Key is nothing but what is the key here. Serial number is the one, and after that input stream. What I am using here is system.get property and line.separator. System.get property, line.separator. I'm using the what is a new line character at server level. Maybe if I am running this process on my Atom is Windows, still my system will be working. If Atom is deployed on cloud, still it will be working on Linux or Windows, because line separator will give me the specific to operating system. Instead of I'm using the hard-coded value for Windows for slash, because Windows something like the line separator will be in Linux, it will be this one. In Windows something like this. If you want to see, right, you can change these values. Linux, you see the symbol something like here. Okay, what is LF? LF is nothing but in terms of this one, this is a one. When it comes to Windows, right, Control M, CRL. So this is the one, CRL and this is one. So that's why I'm identifying the I'm identifying. Let me turn off this one. So I'm using this string. I'm using this input stream. From that input stream, I pass this key and loop every record. I'm going through looping every record. Read line by line, and this is again CSV file. Right? I'm splitting the record, and taking the first second one, and I'm identifying whether it's a serial number or not. Starting one is a serial number or not. Like that, I'm comparing everything. So splitting. And then after that first position I'm checking the contents, the data, the row contains this key or not. If contain, I'm just taking that row and coming out. Break nothing but to come out of loop. Once you matches, come out of loop. So that's how it's given. The same function I used but this time I pass a different value. So these two functions will give me the start and end position. I define one more function can get file content. What it will do, takes the start position and end position and pass the input stream again. So in between start and end, whatever the input is there, it will get that value, get file content. Again, I use a string buffer, and string buffer I'm just concatenating everything here. So that's this custom scripting is doing. So only thing for this one is required is maybe is there anything I'm using buffer reader. Okay, I think I'm not using anything. I thought Java things are using. So let me use this one. Let's see the how output will be changed now. Using one more data process. This data process custom scripting. If you don't understand, it will be Java. It will be a bit difficult to understand this session. I'm just reading it so that we can be more readable format. So you can just run this save now. It says one second. It says some class is not available. Sorry.
Nothing. Yes.
Mod wrap. Allocation message executing data process caused by startup failed. Scripting Groovy 34 unable to resolve class AC line 34 column 24 buffer reader new AC new stream reader FIS unable to resolve class AC line 34 line 34 line 34. Why buffer reader is not identifying? 34 is this one. Something it got, see, you can see file is not saved. Something got typed. Wrong type. Okay, this is the one actually. Okay, it's a typo mistake. I'm trying to explain you somewhere it got. So after that, what is there, right? So once it's converted to flat file, we already know how to work with flat file and how we can use business role shapes. So we can do the splitting and combining, and then we can use a map shape to do some kind of some calculation and everything. We can just go ahead and see how input data is coming now. It will be now a bit more reasonable, more readable format. It will come. Download original document here. Where is this one? Save. Open folder. This one is open with Notepad++.
So this is getting saved externally?
Sorry?
This is getting saved externally or?
It will be downloaded, right? So it will be, once you click on download original, means all the data with this one will get downloaded. I'm using that one as a, now what I can do is I'm going to use the one more data process, or even you can do the same thing. I'm just giving more you can use a flat file here. Where is this? I don't need actually yeah, it's required. We can do it in this one only. Custom scripting. It's not custom splitting. Split, you can split, says that split by line and retain first line as a column headers. Okay, after that, what we need to do is business roles. Why are we using business roles? I want to validate and I need to identify some particular conditions. What is the conditions here is, So here something like is a deposit amount should be greater than 0 and the transaction remarks contain something ACH. If these are the things only, then only I need to do all other records will be, you need to ignore it. If you don't split, what happens, right? The business rules has the ability to go every record by record, but it expect all the, whatever the conditions we specify, right? Business rules expect all the records should be satisfied. It's not our requirement is not to satisfy all the records. Whatever the individual records satisfy, get those records and ignore other records. That's the reason we are going to split it. So let's create a flat file. So we already have this data, sample data. Go with all as a star is comma delimited. We specify all double quotes because every column is specified in double quotes. That's what I'm going to do is select record so that import will be highlighted. Use this one directly. Click on next. It's properly connected. Okay, so this is the one. Click on business rules. There is no much difference about business rules and business rules and decision will do only one condition, a equal b something. If you want to do more condition, a equal b and b is equal to c and c is equal to d, something like that, you can use the business rules. That's the only difference. So what I need to do is I need to business rules, right? Always you click on the you click on the plus. You can define as many rules you want. First you can give the rules as well. You can just say that identify ACH records, something like that. So add a field here. Where is that value will be there? It is there in transaction remarks. If you want alias, you can remove all these things. Okay, now you can add a condition. You can even change the condition under to R. You can see R is changed now. If you change it, it will be under. As many conditions you want, you can add it. Okay, you can just mention transaction remarks. You have some options, contains. What you need to do is something ACH is you need to check whether it is there or not. Static, mention ACH. You can add one more condition, but for simplicity, I'm just adding it for showing that. You can add one more condition and define credit amount greater than 0, something like that. I'm just giving add. We can just go field. You can have one more field, deposit amount. Okay, so we can just even ignore all these things. Means what it will do, by default every business rule will do under operations. But if you want to do anything R operations, you need to add it here, something. You change this to R and you can add these things. Maybe you can even add same thing. You need to add one more parameter. That's why you didn't get these things. And you had only one parameter, right? You can add one more R parameter as well. So this is the business rules. Always business rules will be whatever the conditions satisfied, it comes accepted path. Whatever rejected, it comes the rejected path. All the conditions. So here, what I am doing it here, and just converted the accepted. So after that, what I need to do, I already split everything, right? I need to do the combine. I don't need to again data process, combine all the records, data process, combine documents, flat file, retain first line as a column headers.
Okay, this is the different data process. We can use as many as, right?
Yeah, we can use as many as we want. So we are converting. After that, what we need to do is flat file map shape. We just need to do after this decision shape, right? What we will get? We will get only the valid records. Just we need to do some here only. Here demo here dividend flat file. So we are not going to you do this mapping for transformation. We are just using this mapping for calculation purpose. So what I'm going to do is I'll map everything as it is except the balance. Okay, I'll just remove the balance. I'll just mention number or string. Somewhere we'll get we'll get the sum function. Okay, sum here. Okay, the sum will be, what is that? Deposit amount. All the value I need to sum it and then store it in balance. Happens right now. Input you might receive 10 records, but output you will get only one record because you're doing some nothing, but you'll do an aggregation. So you will see the difference now. Okay, now copy. So you can just mention these two things, drag these things here as mentioned here, right? So these document properties are, so you want to see what error message you want to see, right? You can use a business rules results message. This will give you all the information about the rules, what it has done. You can even mention rules result, and then even you can mention the data as well. What data it has problem, you can even mention the current data as well. Okay, you can just I can just do that. So what if you want to send out an email, right? You want to send out an email, what you can do is you can just include all the records. So you put a message shape and configure email connector, it will go now. So you can see how many records are coming here. You can see here serial number. You see all you see ACH only. Okay, whatever the records are satisfied, you will see this one. So now you will get only one record here. Okay, I think aggregation is not perfect. Okay, you can see it 932. 932 is the one it generated. Okay, 932 is a value is generated. So what you can, if you want to do this thing here you can see one more thing. You can see how many records got rejected and all the records are rejected, right? So you can see the input. Maybe you can download this log so that you will have more. Save, open, edit. You can see that output, serial number, value, this one you can see transaction remarks doesn't have this one, and result is business rules identify ACH records is failed. This is a business rule that failed. Like that, every record will identify ACH records, and even if it is identified ACH also, somewhere at credit amount is get greater than failed. Like how many business rules executed, everything you will able to track the information, what exactly your input is coming and what is corresponding there. So even you want to send out this report as an email, right? So what you can do, you are getting multiple records, right? So what you can do, you can put a message shape here, and you can pass the input over here. Maybe as a record, you can put document property, not a dynamic document property. This one is business rules. You can configure business rules email. You can just configure the email alert here, so you will get we already saw how to use this one. And even if in case you want to throw out, right? In case if you want to throw out, what you will do is, in case you want to throw out, right? You will use some branch shape, and also you want to throw an error. What you can do is, first thing is you will send out an email. First thing is you send out an email here. Maybe you configure something, set property, all the things. then you can make this process failure results. So make sure, right, make sure you do all these things, right. Combine documents, it will not combine because in every records are coming, so all these things will be combined here. Because why I'm using second message shape again is you just combine it, because first message shape, whatever the input document, right, input document what is coming, enter your flat file record is coming, but in that flat file record I'm just taking only the error message here, so the flat file record data will be overwritten with error message. So like this every record will come, and for every record I'm just combining this into one here. So here I'll just put the current data here, there is no need to again use a one, because in this record input data overridden with error, this business rules error message, that to make as a current data for the next process, next message shape, and that I am just combining it here. So final message, we can just even send out an report, and here we can just throw an exception. Exception is used mainly used, right. So what happens, when main difference between try catch and exception, right. Try catch is used when some error occurred, you are going to catch that exception and do some what you want to do after exception is error occurred out, that you are going to specify the try catch. But whereas if exception, right, if some business conditions are not met and you want to throw the error, the process is not throwing that, you are making explicit saying that you want to process, you want to throw an error. Once exception is executed, it throw an error. Once throw the error, then there is no try catch is not there, then it will get failed, process execution will be stopped. If behind that, if before that, if any try catch is there, it will be catched. If there is no catch before that, so it automatically generate an error, stop the execution. So what you want to show, once you put this one, right, in the on the process reporting, you will see this error. So you can even specify what exactly you want to configure. All you can think is you can configure the what is a problem, you can mention all these things over here. Not document properties, here you can just mention what is the error, all the things. Just mention like that, and then error. So after you receive these things, right, so you can just see that, I think you should have change these options. Okay, let me just show you that. So multiple records are coming, right, we will do some kind of uniqueness over here, balance, right. If you see unique here, unique enforce unique. Enforce unique means if multiple records are coming, multiple records are coming with the same value, what happens, it generate only one record per unique value. Okay, you can see, since I put a message shape, it throws an error, saying this business rule something is got failure. And if you see here, right, you can see only one record with this value. So you can ignore all these things, you can ignore all these things, you can only take this value. So now you get only one record, because all the records got 933, right. So that's why it's make only one record per unique value. So in these things, what we understand is how to use a custom scripting, and how to use the custom scripting with the Excel sheet and all the things. Then read the Excel sheet, do the validations, all business rules validations using the business rule shape, and do this. We have used split and combining with how to use splitting and combine, and then we use some functions, inbuilt functions in the map shape, and then we use how to get the value of the business rules error details and business rules result information, and then how to use the exception shape to throw an error when when our business conditions are not met. Then we can use the exception shape to throw an error. This is also used in SOAP exposing a web services SOAP processes. You can use a return shape when you want to throw in a successful response. If you are getting something error, you can use the exception shape. If you use exception shape in the web services processes, SOAP web service process, this will automatically generate the SOAP error information. That's the only difference. Other than that, everything is it again generates an error. But when you see it from a client point of view, you will see the error, SOAP error information. But if you don't use this one, you'll get only the successful message. It's not something in SOAP body only. You will see that. Instead of you want to see SOAP body, you want to see SOAP error, you can use the exception shape only in SOAP web services. So this is, I think, if you are comfortable with Java, it's not that much difficult. If you are not comfortable with Java, it will be a bit difficult things to understand this. Only this two part, custom scripting. So me has given such a facilities, you can do anything, whatever you want with the custom script. If inbuilt functionalities are not sufficient.
Okay. For instance, if it is not an Excel sheet, if it's a different document, so for that we need to change.
Again, you need to change custom scripting. You need to define if you are getting some PDF document, you need to write some custom scripting to translate that PDF document into. Say you no need to struggle much. You will get everything in the Google. You can just. But only thing is you need to have an idea that always your data will be stored it here. You need to refer the input stream from here. And again, when you are storing the output stream back, you need to put it in the this is a function you need. This is a statement you need to use for whenever you store the data back. These are the key things. Rest of the things, again, you test it anything in your Eclipse or everywhere. You can test everything. If it is working, you just put it in these things first and make your data finally output data and convert that into input stream and use this method back. That's the thing. Remaining things, everything is Java. Even you can use Excel Groovy script also, but everything ultimately your runtime component is JRE, right? So YATAM will run on JRE. So that's why I'm much comfortable with writing in Java, so that I'll write always Java. But only thing when you compare with the Java and Groovy script, right? Now you are specifying the type, right? What type of this variable is. You don't need to type Java. Groovy script is a dynamic casting similar to JavaScript. Other than that, there might be some performance wise, there might be some few differences. But when you are using a Boomi, inside that you're writing a small piece of code, that doesn't matter much. So maybe if you see the next things, right? So we already saw there is one more process, some XML identifier. If you are comfortable, this is a new feature actually got it in recently in Excel, how to write an Excel XSLT one. Here I'll show you this one XSLT also. Earlier we were using custom scripting for writing for doing these transformations. If you want to continue tomorrow, right, what you can do, you can just try to understand what is XSLT. Or even you can take to Google or YouTube, you will get some information what is XSLT. Why we use XSLT? So basically we'll use for transforming different inputs to an output. So if you're comfortable, we'll explain this today, or else you can go through this and understand why we use XSLT, how to write all these things. But this is again completely different things. It has vast to learn. But if you can understand some basic differences, right? So that will be better. So Boomi mapping, right? Whatever mapping we are using, that is not much user friendly. We cannot write much logics in that. So people always, whoever worked on Excel, XSLT and any other integration tools, right? Almost all integration tool will support XPath and everything. So people will mostly frequently used to write an XSLT that do a lot of things easily. Yeah. So you can go through it. Maybe tomorrow we'll go through that, how to use that XML identifier. I think we developed one of the process, XML identifier. Yeah, this one, I think, XML identifier. In this one, right, we use map shape, right? If you remember this username, password, this one. Remember this one. and couple of days back. So now we use map shape, right, to do that. Without map, I'll show you how to use it with XSLT, how simple it is. But again, still, assuming that you have some XSLT understanding, the way how we use some JavaScript or something today, assuming that we have some understanding on the Java. Similarly, that if you understand XSLT, without using map, we can do all the whatever the map is thing doing. XSLT also, with XSLT we can do all those things.
Oh, great. Okay. For all the processes, whatever the process we need, we can do with the scripting.
Yeah, but when XSLT is generally expected, right? It's mostly input XML, output mostly XML. But you can use XSLT to generate JSON output as a CSV. Anything you can do. Its output is freely. Generally speaking, XML, HTML, and then even you can generate PDFs if you go with other extensions. Outputs input always will be an XML. Now with the new version of XSLT3, you can even take the JSONs as well as input. So for ED and other things, right, it's we cannot. Mainly 3 types of data we can generate using XSLT. So you can, I think you want to continue.
It's good.
Okay, so we'll see tomorrow.